Hi everyone. So we are going to begin part 2 of making a Father's Day card using the Griffin impression dies. Yesterday when I initially started the first video, I had a little problem with getting the dies to work. So I found when using your Craftworks Companion Gemini machine, you'll have to use this extra plastic plate when you run your dies through. So I'm just going to go over quickly the steps when using the Gemini. You'll need this plate, which is the hard plastic or glass plate. And then you need your metal shim. And then you need your plastic mat. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take whatever die you select to use. So you'll need to ink sharp side up, and you'll know because you'll see the intricate details in the design. So that's the side you want to ink up. And then you're going to place it on this mat right here. And then you're going to put your piece of paper on top that you're going to cut the die out with. So let's just say I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper. So once you ink this up, you're going to take your paper. I'll turn it this way. And just make sure it's big enough for your die. This is just an example, so the die is sticking out a little bit. And then you're going to take this extra plastic plate. And then you're going to get your top glass plate. And so you'll need all this combination for this die to work and run through the machine. And the final result will be, I cut out some on the video I did yesterday. So let me just get everything here. So the final result will be, let me just hold this up some. So this came out really good using that combination. And the whole idea of this new technology that Griffin just came out with her dies was to be able to stamp and emboss and cut at the same time. So just one pass through and you can do all of that, which is really nice because some people don't like to color. Normally you would have to die cut your object out, and then you would have to color it. So this is really nice for those people that don't like to color. I like to color, so I'll do both in between. But this is just a nice concept. So I'm going to get all of this to the side, get organized, and we're going to start actually putting our card together that I did not have a chance to do yesterday. Okay, I'm back. And for my main design, I had cut out a card base on white paper. This is 5x7. And then I cut a layer out in this nice gloss red paper. So we're going to use this. And then I also will use this Father's Day sentiment. I do have Father Day design sentiments and designs on my website. It's a free download at mackenziecreations.design. So I'll use this. And then I'm going to try to incorporate... this is an embossing folder and it has big dots on here. This is from Spellbinders. And then I was also thinking to create like a circle layer to go within the card, and this is by Sizzix. So I'm gonna incorporate a few of these dies in here as well. But the main focal point will be the Griffin impression die that I just cut out and showed you about. So let's get started with putting our card together. Just gonna move this to the side here, and I'm gonna grab my glue, and then I'm gonna get down this first layer. I always like to use a wet glue, so we'll get this down. I use a wet glue because it gives me a chance to maneuver around when I place it on my card base. If you're good with this, then, you know, feel free to use a tape runner. Okay, so you just want to make sure it's on here evenly as possible. So I think that looks good. And then I'm just going to give it a few moments to set. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Now, what I was thinking about doing, I wanted to take this circular die, and I was going to take the biggest die right here, and I was going to cut this out in a white paper. So I'll grab some white cardstock, and I was going to cut this out, and then I was going to take the next size die here, cut this out in a red paper, and emboss it in this folder. So let me get everything set up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I cut out all my scrap paper to run the dies through. So what you want to do with your die, you want to make sure the sharp side is down, and then I'm gonna take this down, and I got this tape from the dollar store. If it's really sticky, just like kind of press on it and get some of the stickiness off. That way when it comes out, it won't really pull your paper too bad. So let's get this on here. And I'm just gonna run my hands over this just to get some of the stickiness off. And then, you know, if you want to be safe, needs to go sharp side down. Just put it on a part of the paper that's not going to affect your cutout. So I'm going to put this like right at the edge here. Now I normally use my diamond press marquee machine, which is right here. I always keep it by me. I use this 90% of the time. To be honest, you know, I've kind of steered away from these electric machines just because I don't like the plating. But I'm going to try to get out of that because a lot of the dies are bigger that won't fit through my diamond press machine. And so I'll need to start using my electric machine. So I'm going to grab my plates here. And I'm just going to get everything together. So I don't think I need this metal shim just to cut a regular die out. And I don't have my instructions in front of me, so we'll just try to wing it here. I'm gonna put this on top just like this. And then I'm gonna turn my Crafter Companion Gemini Junior on, and we'll try to pass it through and see if it works. Okay, so let's see if this cut out okay. Yep, it cut out. So I just need to take this tape off, and it cut out perfectly. So I'm going to sit that right there, and I'll clean this up a little later. And now I'm going to run through my next die. So we'll do the same thing. And I'm just going to run it through. Okay, so that should have cut out as well. Yep, came right out. Now I do want to take this red circle back, and I want to emboss it with these with this folder with the dots on it. So I'm going to stick this in here, and let me see, I don't think I need all these just to emboss. So I'm just gonna try the top plate and the bottom plate and see if that works. If not, we'll try something else. Okay, let me be careful. I don't want to shift it too much because I may have to run it back through. Oh yeah, it embossed perfectly. So let me hold this up. I don't know. Let me just angle it so you can see the little bubbles in here, or the little dots. So I hope you can see that. So we have that done. So now that we have everything together, I'm just gonna get this all out the way, and then we can start putting our card together. Okay, look like I got a little glue on my base card. So we'll go ahead and start getting the card decorated. I'm just gonna leave this glue alone on here because every time I try to clean this up, it'll mess the paper up. So maybe I'll just cover this up with an embellishment. But I'm gonna get this circle glued down. And I just want to make sure that it's centered as best as possible. And this is Barely Craft Precision Glue, and so it dries pretty quickly. So before I press this down, I just want to make sure I get it as even as possible. Let me just look and see. I think I'm gonna put my sentiment at the bottom, so maybe I'll move this up just a little bit. Okay, I think that'll be good. So I'm gonna just press this down a set. Okay, here we go. Yep, it's dry already because I can't really move it anymore. And then I'm gonna get this glued down. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. It debossed on this side. It would have been nice too, like if you had an ink and just like ink the dots to stand out. That would have been pretty too, because the dots would have stood out a little bit more if you inked this. So maybe I should have did a couple extra layers, but we'll go with this. I'm just gonna make sure this is on here evenly before I press down. That looks about, yeah, that looks good. So I'm just gonna hold this down. Okay. And then what I was gonna do was like use a 3D glue and glue this down as a focal point. And then I was gonna get my Father's Day sentiments. Let me find that. Sorry, I just have stuff all over the place. But that's usually how it goes when you're crafting. Okay, hold on one second. It's up under everything. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this Father's Day sentiment out. And what I did when I designed this was I gave you some dots or little dashes just as a cutting guide. So what I do is I cut like right inside the dots. Or if you have a cutting board, you can try to use that, but these are a little bit small, so you have to be careful with that. So I'm going to get this cut out. And you can still see the dots, but I'll go back and fix that. But if you just cut right inside the line, because you don't want these dashes to show. And so I just try to position my scissors right the first time. And I give you 5 or 6 of these per each printout. So if you mess up, you'll have plenty to work with. Okay, almost done. So yeah, this card is fairly quick to put together. But I broke the video up because of my little snafu. So I didn't want the video to be too long, so I decided, you know, I'll just put my card together using this die in a separate video. Okay. And what I've learned with crafting, you know, sometimes it'll take a couple times to get something down. So, you know, I was a little upset yesterday when I had initially used it and it didn't work out the first time with the impression dies. And then I just started using the different combinations and got it to work. So, yeah, don't give up. So what I'm going to do is I wanted to have this prop up a little bit. So, and I cut a few of these out. So, but I'm just going to use one for right now. And my glue is kind of stuck here. So I'm going to, let me fix this. I'm going to try to pull this top piece off. Let's see if I can get this going. I'm going to be right back. This apparently got really hard right at the tip. So I'll try to scoop the hard part out and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I really tried and I cannot get this glue unclumped. I think what happened, like I'm gonna hold this up, I don't know if you can see, but my lid kind of got damaged and I don't know how that happened, but the inside is really hard. So, and I tried to pick it out with my scissors and couldn't get it to come out. So I'll fidget with that a little later. So I'm gonna, yeah, I can't even get the top back on here, right? So something happened here. So I'll try to fix that later. And I know that I have an extra one somewhere, but I can't find it. So what I did was just grab these little dot adhesive from one of my diamond press kits. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a few of these on here because I do want this to prop up. So we'll get a few of these on here. And I hope everyone is gonna have a happy holiday with their family this coming Monday. Drop that one. I'm gonna try to get a few of these on here just because of this paper is a little bit shiny and slick, and so I want it to be able to stick on good. So I'm gonna get a few more on here and I'm gonna take the tops off and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all of my foam dot adhesives on here, and then I'm just gonna put a little glue on here just to give it some extra protection to stick, since my paper is a gloss paper. Okay, and before I lay it down, I just want to kind of see where I want it to go. And just because I put glue on here too, so I don't want to have to keep moving it around. So I'm just going to kind of hold this down for a few seconds just so it can set. So I'll hold this down. All right, there we go. Now I was going to put my Father's Day at the bottom, but I'm wondering if I should put it at the top. Let's see how it looks at the top. Happy Father's Day. I kind of like it at the bottom. Yeah, we'll get it at the bottom. We'll get it glued down at the bottom here. And I'm just gonna lay this flat down. And so right after you use your glue, you want to make sure that you plug it back up just so the air won't get to it. So let's try to get this one a little straight. Okay, I think that's good. And I have a little glue coming out, which I didn't want. And I don't want to mess with this too much because I don't want my paper to smear. So I'll just see if I can dab that little extra glue up very carefully. There we go. And I'm gonna see if I can grab some Nuevo drops just to kind of cover up these smears that I have on here with the glue, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my black Nuevo drops. This is the only color that I have that'll go with this card. I did get one of these in the mega bundles that I purchased a month or so back, but it doesn't go with this card color. So I'll use this. And I hope I don't mess this up because I'm not really good with putting this down. But you just want to kind of go in a circular motion here. And so I'll just put a few drops down. And you do have to let these dry, set up and dry. And then I think I'll put a few up here on each of the sides, just because it looks a little bare up here. Okay, and then we'll get one right here. I think 2 is enough. And then I'll put, let's see, on this side, just kind of even it out a little bit as best as you can. Okay, then I'll get one right here. Okay, so you just have to kind of practice with these. Now I wonder, maybe I should put some right here just because I got it on this side. So let's see. I'm gonna put some right here. And then another one. And then I may just add a few going towards the bottom here. I think that'll be cute. Okay, yeah. So this will be it, guys. I really enjoyed making this card, and I'm so glad that I got my Anna Griffin impression dies to work out correctly using my Crafter's Companion Gemini Junior machine. So let me just hold this up. This is another one of my Father Day cards that I designed, and it's kind of bittersweet for me because I no longer have my father with me. But yeah, so I think this came out good. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video.